Brady. This is going to be exciting.
And we got a career start zone to go. Green flag is out and underway.
Just a few laps into this. Oh, the 37's getting loose. Oh, and he saves it. Oh, they're going 3 wide.
We've got a 5-way fight for the win of this race coming to 4 laps to go. He's gonna win it here in spectacular fashion.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the home of Go Locker Racing here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the championship finale of the Warrior Series Next Gen Series. My name is Samuel Yosef. I have Jacob Ellingson in the booth with me, Eddie Smith with the controls. Jake, how are you feeling tonight?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, man. I'm excited for tonight. Championship night for the Warrior Series here. It's going to be an amazing race.
It will be amazing. After 7 races, it's all coming down to one final battle at one of the most legendary tracks in motorsports. And the championship could not be any tighter. We're bringing in the Navy team, bringing a slim 6-point lead over the Marines into tonight's winner take all, with 25 drivers ready to settle this for our last race. Looking at our track map for tonight, we should all know what this track is. Home of the Indy 500 Indianapolis Motor Speedway, 2.5 mile track with its famous bankings and famous bricks under the track. It's sure to be a really fun one tonight. Looking at our race analysis for tonight, it's going to be a 40-lap race for these drivers. Hearing from some of the drivers out there, car is kind of loose. Might be the temperature. I think the temps are reaching about 100 degrees. Pit road speed is going to be 55, well enough space for these drivers to get down to it. 4 tire sites if they need, 2 green white checkers if it's going to be needed, 60% fuel, so these cars are a little bit lighter than usual, and everybody's on the same setup. But Jake, I mean, we're at the end of the season. You know, talk us through what has this Warrior Series been for you with this inaugural summer series.
Oh man, I can't be more ecstatic on how this has went over the course of the summer series, and we will be back in for the fall in 3 weeks after this. But all the drivers have had tons of fun. The camaraderie that has happened, you know, everybody who is, you know, teaching, you know, the newer guys on how to race this next gen car. We will be in a different car for the fall. We'll be in the trucks, so that'll be a lot easier for everybody to drive, and we'll have some better racing going on.
Yeah, definitely. And if you are new to watching Go Locker Racing, head on over, go on Google, Facebook, Twitter, whatever social media you use, look up Go Locker Racing. There should be a link to the Discord channel. Go on in if you're interested in participating in our fall series starting at the end of August. We have multiple series, multiple cards to go through. if you're an oval fan, if you're a sports car fan, if you're an IndyCar fan, we have everything. But the main thing is we're here for our veterans and our active duty and our first responders to give them a space to race and have fun. Well, with that, the temperature is hot. Tire management's gonna be clean. And Eddie, I think we should show these people who our final pole position winner of the season will be, and it will be the head go located in Indiana, Patrick Drabick, starting in the pole position on his home track, and Jake Bustos, the flying Jake Bustos, starting in P2. Going into P3, Dylan Simmons representing Coast Guard, and Jake Ham starting in P4. Starting in P5, we got Timothy Williams for Air Force and another Coast Guard driver, Zachariah Logan, starting in 6. Starting in 7th, James Kaufman for Army and Christopher Heiner for First Responders. P9 will be David Calvert and Mike Browning, starting in 10th. Starting at 11th, I think Jake is having some, it's like he's muted or something.
Okay, well, now that I got that figured out, starting in 11th is the Army car of Jacob Lenke, and in 12th is that Navy car of Skylar Daly. In 13th is Thaddeus Friel Jr., and in 14th, that beautiful, beautiful Army car of Andy Carnes. In 15th, that's Matt Bove in the 91, and then to the outside, First Responders' own Alan Smith. In 17th is the Army car of Charles Abert, and to his outside is the 51 of Joshua Unger. 19th is Dakota Cole. 20th is DJ Patterson in that number 26. 21st is going to be Coast Guard's own Conrad Whedon, and then 22nd is the 52 of Matt Weavers. In 23rd, welcome back to Kevin Price. He had a few computer issues earlier this week. Welcome him back. And at 24th is the 68 of Darren Price. And rounding out the field is Air Force's own Hayden Muir.
Well, great to see these 25 drivers showing up for the last race. As I said, Jake, it's a battle between Navy and Marines. Navy having the slim edge over 6 points. Navy's Patrick Drabick is picking up the pole, so he'll start and control this field. I think that's going to be a huge opportunity for Navy to seal this championship. But look out for those Marine cars out there. They can really put on a show to get the team the needed points to secure the championship.
Absolutely, and so far the only Marine on the team, I believe, is Marine 2 that is in a position to win that championship. I believe the only driver on that team that's on track is David Calvert.
Well, that is an interesting development right there, but really it's going to come down to who can handle this car around this track. Talking with some drivers before, we were hearing a lot of, out of corner exits, car getting a little front loose, maybe pushing loose on corner exit, Jake. So, what do you think these drivers are going to have to worry about as their tires wear down?
Just making sure that they're, hitting their marks and being, easy on that throttle coming out, because when that car gets loose, it's going to be really tough to gather that back up.
Yeah, it definitely will be, but we're heading through turns 3 and 4 right now, and this is what these drivers have been working towards all season. 25 cars, one final race here at the home of Goat Locker Racing at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's been a great season, and it's been a great championship between all these branches. The main goal has been highlighting all these drivers who represent our beautiful armed forces and first responders. They deserve all the credit, and they deserve a place to have fun. But it's going to be pace car into the pit lane now. Patrick Drabick of Navy is going to lead these drivers for one final time this season. And Barney has the green flag out. It's about to get started, and green flag is out here in Indianapolis.
Yeah, they're coming down 2 by 2 into turn 1 here. And Patrick Drabick's going to have that inside line, the preferred lane around here. And hopefully he can get clear and sneak up coming out of 2.
Yeah, just listening to these cars roll, we see Dylan Simmons already putting pressure on Patrick Drabick. Those Coast Guard cars are going to be a little thorn in the side for the Navy team. They're going to have to play it smart because Dylan Simmons is on a mission. He's been one of our fastest drivers all summer series, really made a name for himself. And right behind Dylan Simmons is Army's Jake Bustos, another driver who has come onto the Go Locker racing scene and really shown what he can do around these tracks with this next gen car. I can't wait to see what these two drivers can bring to the fall series.
Absolutely, and that draft is going to come into play, along these straights. So I wouldn't count out Jake Ham either, right in that four spot.
Yeah, Jake Ham, Go Locker, known around here, had a bad race yesterday in the MX-5, so I'm sure he's here to kind of get some good positive runs. Looking at Dylan Simmons, and right there is, you can see the car getting loose on exit. Dylan Simmons is really pushing it. The toe in effect right now. Is he going to stay behind Patrick? I think he will. He's going to give a little, but no, he doesn't. He sets it on the inside, going into turn 3, putting Patrick Drabick in a situation he does not want to be in right now. And like I said, those Coast Guard cars will be a little thorn in the side for this Navy team. And it looks like it's going to go side by side into turn 4, Jake, right down to the start-finish line.
And when they're still riding side by side, if I was Patrick, I would have probably backed off this early in the race, but later on when that tires wear off, clean air is going to be king around this place.
Yeah, clean air indeed will be king. Patrick Drabick knows that as long as he can keep his front end in clean air, he has all control of this race. And keeping Dylan Simmons behind is probably a good thing right now. Patrick Drabick has already pulled out to about a 3/10 lead on second, but those two cars have pulled out to almost a second, 1.2 seconds from the rest of the field. So these two drivers clearly showing that they're the early favorites for a win tonight. We'll see if it's just, fresh tires allowing it. Looking at Charles Abert right now, trying to make a move into the top 10. He's side by side with the 19 of Andrew Carnes as well, another Army teammate. And, looking at Charles Abert right now, he's scratching his beard. He's chilling, man. He has no worries right now. Our current ARCA champion for the summer series, he's in a pretty good mood right now.
Absolutely, and I do believe he won the ARCA championship for the summer series as well.
Yes, he did. A 3-time ARCA champion now for Charles Abert. It seems like that ARCA car is his thing, and he's been able to keep his nose clean and get into those positions to get good points. And he's been doing the same here for the Warrior series. So I'm pretty sure his Army teammates well appreciate how clean and consistent he can be. So good to see him out here tonight. Well, going into the start of lap 5 or lap 4, it's Patrick Drabick leading the way for Navy. Dylan Simmons really still putting that pressure on. Those tires haven't really worn off. When we were talking to the drivers pre-race, all were saying that after 2 laps, these tires really degrade and it's really hard to keep the car under them. So to see Dylan Simmons sitting right behind with that dirty air, the wall of air that these next-gen cars provide really will hurt his front tires. He's doing pretty well, but he hasn't really been able to make any effort past Patrick Drabick since that one battle that they had on lap 2.
It makes me wonder if they're pushing them cars just a little bit too hard, and they're going to wear out them tires in a few laps, and Jake Bustos and Jake Ham are just going to sit back there with the Jake and Jake show and, kind of ruin it for Pat and Dylan.
Yeah, Jake Bustos and Jake Ham right there. Zachariah Logan as well.
Dylan Simmons did lose.
Yeah, there goes that tire wear that I was talking about. I was very surprised that he was able to keep the car so close, and it really reared its ugly head right there. Let's go into the instant replay. Going into turn 1, does that shift, and I think that's really what sets the car loose on the rear end. Gets on the gas, and it was a really good save by him, but being that close to the rear end of a car, somebody's going to get aero loose right there.
Absolutely, and I'm surprised it didn't push, Patrick Drabick aero loose too.
Yeah, I mean, It helped out Patrick, so he's clear. But Matt Bove and DJ Patterson and wow, his name's not coming to me. Dakota Cole right there. Wow, I'm sorry, Dakota. I don't know why I blinked out right there. But they're battling it out for the P16 position. Really good battle between these cars right here. Dakota Cole really trying to find that clean air, running a little bit lower than Matt Bove right now. Matt Bove sitting in a decent position with that clean air in front of him. But I'm sure he would like to keep these cars behind. Nice little train happening with them right there. You see Matt Bove going down, trying to break that train. Dakota not really responding to it. But Dakota has a good push from that Army car. Army car pulls out of DJ Patterson. DJ Patterson's going for the move right here, Jake. Little bit tight through the corner for DJ Patterson, able to keep it low. This battle's going into turn 3 and 4 now. I think DJ Patterson might have this move almost there. No. Dakota Cole says no, sir.
We're going to be side by side, coming down the front stretch here, and then looks like Dakota Cole's going to be, fighting back.
Yeah, Dakota Cole's going to fight back. You see, DJ Patterson. Wow, look at that. That's a great shot of how these cars are behaving side by side through the corners right there. You see Dakota get really tight, and you see DJ getting really loose. Two opposite effects for both cars, but able to keep it clean through those two corners. And now they're getting side by side. And whoa!
And Dakota Cole just tapped the wall just a little bit, and that gave DJ Patterson just enough room to squeeze by and get out in front.
Yeah, that really hampered his progress. Alan Smith almost was able to make a move on the inside of Dakota, but that was cut off. Alan Smith in that 00 Coca-Cola car representing the first responders. Good to see him out here as well, getting some laps. Lost 3 positions from his starting place, but I'm pretty sure he's pretty comfortable sitting back here and just logging his laps, biding his time. Maybe he's saving his tires right now as well. Oh, that's DJ. DJ getting loose. He probably got air loose from Dakota Cole. He saves the car. A lot of close calls right now on track, but they've been able to save it, so no cautions so far. Yeah, let's take an instant replay of that. DJ Patterson going into turn 1. See if it's a similar situation. Yes, right after he makes the shift, the rear of the car gets super loose. Getting on the gas, trying to save it. Is able to control the car, but looks like these drivers might have to back up the corner just a little bit, because shifting and turning at the same time and sending these rear of the cars not able to handle. Looking at it there, looking at Jake Bustos right now. Jake Bustos in P3, he fell from second, looking pretty good. I saw Jake Bustos yesterday running. No, not yesterday. It was Monday. Monday he was running. He was doing pretty well for an auto club and an ARCA car, so I'm very interested to see how he does here at Indianapolis. He's got that full dish wheel. He's really working the wheel right now through the corners as well. So you can see how these drivers are dealing with. I don't even know what to call it at this point. They're just dealing with the car, trying to survive. And we see a battle forming. Timothy Williams on login. Timothy Williams going way down, not trying to get any side draft. Zachariah Logan now has Jay Cam behind. And if this is Zachariah's first time racing with Jay Cam, he's going to realize that Jake will try to go for the move if he sees fit. And it's going to be Zachariah's choice. Oh, Jake getting a little loose, almost taps the wall. That might provide Timothy Williams with the opportunity to make a move on the inside. We'll look at it from his hood. I don't think he's going for it. He backs off just a little bit. And these cars are going into these corners real close. I'm very surprised. Oh, no, Zachariah. Oh, yeah, Zachariah getting loose, backing up Jake Cam. All these cars are getting backed up into each other. This battle is going to keep going into the start-finish line, into start lap 11. They are literally a train going down the front stretch.
Jake Cam just pulled out, going to the inside, trying to get to the inside of Logan there, and couldn't quite make that move into one.
Yeah, Jake probably had so much speed coming down the front stretch. But once we got a car spinning in the background into turn 2. The yellow flag is out. We'll look at it, see it is. It looks like Jacob Lakey tapped the wall a little bit. He does have some front end damage, not that much. Dakota Cole able to avoid. I saw that in the background. That was we were watching the battle. We'll get a replay of that. Another car in the background as well, caught in that. Looking at Jacob Blanky going through turn one. Goes a little bit high. Going through, this was the area where he loses it, I think. Yes, he does. He gets loose off the corner. Clips Mike Browning, I think. And ooh, nasty impact for Mike Browning right there into the turn two inner wall, or outer wall, I mean.
Yeah, them two are definitely going to need to take their fast repairs.
Yes, indeed. Both drivers have a fast repair. All drivers in this race today have a fast repair if needed. So we were able to get to lap 12. Patrick Drabick probably, and this whole field will probably come down for fuel. The fuel run was about 21 laps, I believe, Jake. So we were getting close to pitting. So I'm sure everybody will come down for fresh rubber and fuel.
Absolutely. And it's going to make it an interesting race. After this, they're still going to need to make a stop for fuel after this.
Yeah, they'll definitely need to make a stop for fuel. We'll see if these drivers are able to keep it green that whole way. We would love to see green flag pit stops and maybe some strategy. I know some of these drivers out here do like to do the fuel saving game and clutch through corners if possible. Will be very interesting to see if a driver is able to pull that off. But pace car has now picked up most of the field. We are going to see a busy pit road here. Be very surprised to see if any car stays out, but you never know what a team may do. Drivers are now heading into pit road. Let's see what happens. Looks like most are in line. I know Matt Weber's will probably get the wave around. He is the lucky dog on my screen. And it looks like most of the field will come down for fuel and tires. And we'll see what this battle off pit road will be like. Well, looks good from most cars. I don't see anybody back. Oh, Patrick Drabick misses the pit lane. That might cost him the lead. We'll see on that. Jake Bustos and Dylan Simmons are probably going to get off. It's a race off pit road. Who's it going to be? Dylan Simmons for the win. Patrick Drabick is going to drop down to P5. Not what Patrick Drabick wanted to happen right there, Jake.
Absolutely not. He needed that clean air to stay out front, and now he's going to have to put in a little bit of work to get back up there.
Yeah, the roles have flipped pretty much from when we started this race. Dylan Simmons was the one in dirty air. Patrick Drabick was the one in clean air. Now Dylan Simmons has control of the field and clean air, and he also has his teammate in P4 in Zachariah Logan. That is a huge break for all these drivers in the top five, but especially the Coast Guard team.
Yeah, it just makes me wonder where he's going to want to start. If he's going to want to start on the outside with his teammate, or if he's going to stick to that inside.
I think a driver is going to have to prioritize the inside. This track is primarily a one-line course throughout the whole track. You want to be on the inside to save your tires and not burn them up as quickly as possible. If you can make a move on the outside, kudos to you. But as we saw Dylan Simmons try that battle with Patrick Drabick on the outside, it only lasts for a lap. But it looks like he has his car on the high side. It looks like you saw the future, Jake. He's electing for the high side, and the Coast Guard teammate of Zachariah Logan also electing on the, well, he doesn't really have a choice, but he's starting on the outside as well. So there is probably some inter-team talk happening right now with Coast Guard.
It looks like that's going to be on the outside. It's going to be a very, very interesting turn one, especially with his teammate, starting behind him to see if he can't get clear, from Jake Bustos.
Yeah, definitely will be. I'm looking at my list right now, just trying to see if there's anybody surprising out here. So Japes Kaufman and Skylar Daly and Thaddeus Friel have now popped into the picture around the top 10. So the teammate of Patrick Drabick, Skylar Daly, now sitting in P10. Thaddeus Friel for the Marines, he's sitting in P11. Charles Abert now up to P12. Andrew Carnes up to P13. Matt Bove in P14. And Dakota Cole rounds out our top 15. It's going to be an interesting restart right here. Jake Bustos, like I said, he's one of those fast drivers who's popped up into the scene for the Goat Locker racing community. And he's been lights out ever since he's joined. I've seen him come from the back of the field to the front. I've seen him start in the front and, hang around in the top 5. He's really a car to look out for and pretty good point hauler for that Army team. Dylan Simmons, on the other hand, he's been lights out from the jump. Dylan Simmons has probably been one of my favorite drivers to watch in these races. Really calm, cool, collected guy as well. But Jake, I mean, this is going into another restart. I guess you'll take the call on this.
I don't know if you want me to make that call there, Sam. I mean, I'm terrible as it is, but pace car is going to hit pit road, and then we're going to go 2 by 2 into the restart zone. And then off we go. And it looks like Dylan Simmons got that good restart. He's going to enter into turn 1 real smooth. But his teammate, Zachariah, not, far behind. Going to come out of turn 2 side by side with Jake Bustos.
I mean, he has the fresh tires. He can push. Oh, he's gone really wide. He's going to tap the wall. Oh!
And they're going to go 3 wide.
Oh, we might have contact. A little bit of contact between Patrick Drabick and Timothy Williams. Patrick Drabick trying to get back up to the front after his mishap on pit road. Patrick Drabick wasting no time to push his car. Zachariah Logan trying to run the outside, but went real high, got caught up in the loose bits of rubber and dragged his car up to the wall. Now he's paying the price severely. He's getting passed by David Calvert right now. Jake Ham pushing him down, and Zachariah Logan, he was in P4. Now he's just trying to survive to stay in the top 5 right now.
And he's really, putting the pressure on that door of David Calvert to get around him. And it looks like he cleared. Jake Ham's going to come up and try to take a good position from David Calvert as well.
Well, round 2 between these two drivers. Jake Ham, he's been knocking on the door for the top 5. James Kaufman now entering the picture. Skylar Daly getting a little battle forming between him and Thaddeus Friel, 2 drivers that know each other really well. Thaddeus Friel has been one of those drivers who's been growing immensely in this league, especially in the next-gen car. If you had talked about Thaddeus Friel last season, you would have said Thaddeus is a driver who will burn up his tires in 10 laps and call it a day. Now, Thaddeus Friel is one of those drivers. Oh, we got a battle into turn 1 behind Skylar Daly and Christopher Heiner. What a shot right there. I thought they were going to get some contact. It looks like Charles Abert now has entered the picture. I did mention these drivers before the restart. These drivers right here are now entering to the top 10. These are drivers who are really trying to fight for points for their final positions for their teams to end up the season. Christopher Heiner as well, for first responders, has been doing a real good job this season doing a points haul for the team. Looks like Indianapolis is treating him well. He's moved up to P11 right now. Starting lap 18, Dylan Simmons, full control of this field, that clean air paying dividends for him right now. Patrick Drabick sitting in P3 after his pit road mishap. He's trying to get back to the front. This is his first time dealing with that dirty air. Jake Bustos sitting between him and Dylan Simmons. Timothy Williams in P4 for Air Force, still holding strong for him right there. He's up 1 position. And Zachariah Logan, after his restart mayhem, is able to settle out in P5 and push out to about 6/10 in front of Jake Ham. So that battle has died off for now. You said, Jake, we were about, I would say, maybe 5-6 laps away from pit stops happening under green. Now these drivers have a full tank of fuel, but they're not going to be able to make it. I think from my calculations, they were about 4 or 5 laps short And you know, what would you be doing? What would you be thinking as the person who drives these cars about the pit strategy and how hard you would be going?
Well, I'd definitely be taking it easy. Wouldn't be shifting in the corners. I'd be trying to save as much fuel as I could to try to make up them laps. Just try to stretch it. That would be my strategy in it. I think. And there is going to be a wreck somewhere. Oh,
Conrad Riedel.
Of Conrad.
Did I say his name wrong?
Oh, absolutely. You said his name wrong.
I'm sorry about that. It's Whedon, but I don't know what came out of my mouth. I'm sorry.
I think it was wheeling, and he definitely was trying to wheel it around the corner there, and it just got loose. Trying to save it.
I mean, he does a good job. That could have turned into a bad situation and a yellow flag. Probably would have enjoyed him having the yellow flag, but that Coast Guard car is still alive. He's still logging laps down in P23, and maybe it's a blessing in disguise. He might be able to save fuel more than these other drivers. We don't know. We'll see. But it looks like Dylan Simmons has now been caught up by Jake Bustos and Patrick Dravic. I wonder if Pat is pushing Bustos a little bit faster than he wants. He does have the draft of Dylan Simmons, and Patrick Dravic does have the draft of Jake Bustos. So those two cars can save a little bit more fuel than Dylan Simmons. But I'm interested to see what Pat's strategy may be. Would you be wanting to pit? Oh, hits the wall on exit of 1. Would you want to be pitting early to get your pit stop out the way, or would you try to extend as far as you can so that your pit stop is pretty short for the end of the race?
Well, it's not going to matter because the caution on the speedway here, and the 26 of DJ Patterson has gone around.
Well, throw out all that strategy talk that I had. Let's look at the replay of DJ Patterson going into turn 1. Whether this is another case of car getting loose on entry due to shifting. Car gets loose on exit, probably push loose. Nasty smack it to the wall right there. Unfortunate. I think he does have his fast repair still, so he'll be able to go back on track. iRacing did repair his car just a little bit from when his initial contact happened. But unfortunate for DJ. And yes, the yellow flag is out. I maybe they'll be good for fuel now. I'm not sure, but we'll see.
With about 17 laps to go, and then with the caution laps that are going to come after, they definitely will be good on fuel towards the end. The only reason they would come down to pit road after this would be to get some tires if they had, an 8, 9, 10 lap run.
Okay, there we go. That's the race analysis by Jake Ellingson right there.
Now, I could be wrong. I'm wrong in the past about pit strategy. It's something I would think of. I would come down pit road right now, get tires, fuel, and then I wouldn't pit unless we had, a substantial amount of laps on the tires after that. And even then, Patrick Dravic, I would take 2 tires. If we had only 8, 9 laps on the tires, I would take 2 tires on it. Just have to remind Pat about it.
Yeah, Pat Dravic are allergic to the 2-tire stop. I don't blame him, though. Sometimes you want 4 tires to make sure you have all grip available to you. Looks like we do have a couple cars staying out. They're going to play a different game the majority of the field. Dylan Simmons leading the group into pit lane. DJ Patterson has now finished his tow into pit lane, so he's going to be a lap down, but he might be able to get his lap back before start of this race. I'm not sure. We'll see. Looking at does Pat Dravic make the same mistake? No, he's able to get into his box, but I think he won't be able to beat these cars off pit road. We'll see. They're about to head off right now. Dylan Simmons is off. Jake Bustos is off. Patrick Dravic is off. I think Pat Dravic might get second.
Yeah, Pat gained a spot on that pit cycle here.
Well, I got a little excited right there. I love pit road battles. I love watching drivers being able to, find those extra tenths of a second that can make the difference between a position gain and a position loss. Let's look at the drivers who decided to stay out. Looks like Darren Price Darren Price is the only car that decided to stay out. DJ Patterson right behind. He's a lap down after his wreck, bringing out the yellow flag. He probably will go back to the field. Matt Wiebers is also a lap down, so he's heading to the back of the field. Interesting call from Darren Price. We'll see what happens.
I don't think it's the right call. I think it's going to stack up the field a lot and may cause some issues, but you know, these guys are normally pretty good on this track about navigating some of those issues and going through it. But what we have here is we are coming to 1 to go. And we'll see everybody get side by side here and see where Darren Price chooses for the restart.
Yeah, I just had a quick update from the drivers right there. They are +5 to the good if they did take their pit stops right here. So fuel is not a concern no more. It's really going to come down to driver skill. It's really going to come down to who can keep their car clean for the rest of the race. Patrick Drabick, he's going to start on the inside. Darren Price elected to start on the high side, which will not affect Dylan Simmons, but it will affect Jake. It's going to affect Patrick Drabick, actually. I am bad at math right now.
It's not going to affect Patrick Drabick or Dylan Simmons. The person that it's going to affect the most is going to be Jake Bustos. So hopefully Darren doesn't spin his tires on that restart and back up that outside line. But that's the line that's going to be affected the most, is that outside line.
See, this is why you need a second person in the booth, because I could be talking nonsense for 10 laps and I would have never known. But Jake Ellingson came in and saved the day, so appreciate Jake for helping me not blabber on too much.
You know, you're welcome. I mean, I'm not the best, but you know, I try to have a little bit of a sense on what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we'll see how it is. It's a long day, but I was excited for this race. I was excited to see what this championship battle will come down to. Excited to see who takes the final crown for the season as we wrap up our Warrior Series for the summer season. It's been a great inaugural season. We're going to be under 15 to go when we cross the line. Darren Price will control the field. It's a Price up front, everybody. Look out. And we'll get this green flag started. Pace car is down. Cars are lining up. Barney has his green flag out. And we are green flag into the extreme scoring restart zone. Good jump by Darren Price, but Dylan Simmons has even a better jump. Those two cars on the inside. Jake Bustos immediately goes down to the inside. Darren Price is all on his own. He goes into the grip. He loses grip. He is on the outside, almost hits the wall on exit. Dylan Simmons able to get out. Darren Price is now falling behind, just trying to stay alive through that high side. Darren Price is able to settle out right now, side by side with Timothy Williams, as Patrick Drabick and Dylan Simmons take off into the distance from these cars. Jake Cam and Timothy Williams just trying to find their way. Looks like Darren Price just does not have the grip with those older tires. We'll see what happens. Oh, Darren Price getting pushed out. Ooh.
Yeah, he's just going to continue falling back, especially being on that outside, you know, sticking to that outside, which is perfectly fine, you know, sticking to that outside, making sure you get the guys on fresh tires, that preferred lane.
Yeah, I mean, you got to try something. I never knock a driver for trying something new. It may not be the right. Oh, hits contact, a little checkup behind, trying to avoid. Christopher Heiner almost hitting the back of Darren Price. Oh, we're almost 3 wide into the backstretch, and we are settled out for now. Darren Price is falling down the order. He's just trying to stay alive, hoping for a caution to come out and kind of pause this progress that everybody else is making. Matt Bode able to get ahead. Now this battle between Price and Lanky. Let's go out up front. Patrick Drapic is probably putting pedal to the metal right now. There is no concern for fuel no more, Jake. But Dylan Simmons is breaking that toe, making sure that Pat is not able to get him on the inside.
I'll tell you what, concern for fuel is not there, but the concern for tire wear is still there. We still have a lot of laps to log over the course of this race. I mean, 12 laps doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're at a
I'm hearing cars wreck in the background. Is there a yellow flag? Yes, there is. I'm sorry, Jake. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just heard metal crashing in the background of my headphones, and I wasn't led astray. We have a caution. Darren Price, unfortunately, is collected in it. We'll get an instant replay of this, Jake. Looking at it, going into turn one, Darren Price is sitting behind, goes a little bit higher than usual, taps the wall, and then, Christopher Heiner kind of helps. Is that Andrew Carnes?
That is Andy Carnes.
Ooh.
In that Cav Scout number 19.
Unfortunate to see. Let's get a better replay from Christopher Heiner's hood. Everybody checks up, and there's really nothing Christopher could do. He doesn't expect to be able to. I mean, there's physically impossible to check up that quick. So he gives a little love tap to Andrew Carnes, and that is it. But we will restart the field, re-rack it. It was the caution that Darren probably wanted, but he didn't want to be involved in it. So unfortunate and tough luck. But he does have a fast repair, so he'll be back right on track.
Absolutely, and it's unfortunate for Andy Carnes, head to toe. Good thing that Indy is a big track, plenty of time to get that car towed in and get that fast repair.
Now, do you pit for fresh tires again? These drivers had 4 sets of tires, one that they started with and 3 in the pits. Do you save for in case if a green white checkered, or do you go in and get another fresh set and ride it out for the rest of the race?
If I'm up towards the front, I'm not pitting at all. If I'm towards the back half of the field, in that 11th, 12th, 13th, on back, I'm pitting for 2 tires.
Wow, Jake Bustos was trying to play the dummy game. He saw that not many cars were going to go downfield, so some of them bailed out. We do have 2 takers into pit road. Jacob Lenke might be thinking ahead. I know Jacob Lenke likes to think of the end game and likes to think ahead, so he might be seeing something that we might not see. So I'll definitely have my eyes on Jacob Lenke. He's going to be a threat with those fresh tires. Mike Browning as well decides to come in. Doesn't hurt to get. Mike Browning misses pits, but it doesn't really matter. Only 2 cars came down to the pit road.
And Jacob Lenke is going to take them 4 tires along with Mike Browning. I would have just taken 2. I don't think there's enough laps to warrant a 4 tire stop on the tires. But if I was Lenke, I would have definitely taken them 2 tires and let it ride.
I mean, 4 tires after let's look at track temp. Track temp is 101 right now. We ran about 5 laps in full swing. I think that's a big difference at a track like this with how much space there is. I think Jacob Lenke might be able to make some moves. I don't know how far he'll get, but he'll be a threat coming from the back of the top 20.
I would say if he conserves a little bit on the first, second lap, and then starts going a little bit harder for the rest of the race, I think he'll be in a good position to at least get a top 10.
Yeah, I think Jacob, that is a great spot to put him in. If you're a betting person, I think he would probably get to the top 10 and fade out from there on. He does have that advantage. Everybody else last pitted on lap 23. Him and Mike Browning pitted on lap 29. So a 6-lap tire difference. We'll see if this will be a deciding factor. But Dylan Simmons, what is the game that Dylan Simmons is going to play? He knows Patrick Drapic is there, and he knows that Patrick Drapic is a threat to take this win away from him. Looks like he's electing for the low side, Jake. Is this something you would be doing?
Absolutely. If I was Dylan Simmons, I'd be taking that low side and getting that great launch to get ahead of Patrick. And have that nice clean air into turn one.
Yeah, I agree. Clean air is king for these drivers. Looks like Andy Carnes is able to get back out to the track. He will be only one lap down. He's in the lucky dog position right now. So if another caution were to come out, Andrew Carnes, no, I think he wasn't able to beat the field out. So he will go 2 laps down. Unfortunate, but great to see that he's back out on track. Last race of the season. Go get some laps in. Go have some fun with your team. And that will be it. I'm trying to figure out if it isn't. He slows up and then he slows down. I don't think he did. I think he's gonna have to let the iRacing pace car let him pass.
And he is going to get that lap back, so he's only going to be 1 lap down.
All right, he does get that lap back, so he'll be the lucky dog if a caution were to come out. This is the critical time, Jake. Navy, let's look at the running order. Patrick Dravix in P2, Skylar Daly's in P9, so good points haul that could secure the championship for them. I mean, we'll see how it goes, but a caution, a wreck, something could derail Navy's progress for that championship win. We're going to be with 9 to go when we cross the line, Jake. It's anybody's game.
Absolutely, and I've been keeping an eye on David Calvert all night so far, and he's been riding around towards the back half of that top 10. So if something happens to these front runners, he's definitely going to have in a good position. But we're about to go green here for another restart. And we got Patrick Travick, Dylan Simmons side by side, and they're off.
They're off in extreme scoring restart zone. Dylan Simmons immediately blocks the high side to not allow Patrick Travick any room. Patrick Travick takes low. We see Jake Ham. Look at the run Jake Ham is pushing. He's putting Bustos in a position he hasn't been in all season, or all race, I mean. It might not last long, though. We're going into the backstretch. Jake Ham, Jake Bustos. Jake Ham, I saw this corner. I'm taking the corner, and there's nothing that you can do about it. He's putting the pressure on, and he got the move done. Kudos to Jake Ham right there.
On the outside, and then we got Zachary and David Calvert fighting for that P7 position, and David Calvert's in that preferred line, and if he just, rides it out, he can wear out Zach on that outside, and then tires are going to fail for him.
Yeah, I'm looking through the rest of the field. Jacob Lenke up 3 positions with those fresh tires. He's making a move 3 wide in the background. Looking at this battle between Timothy Williams, David Calvert, and Zachariah. Makes contact. No! Charles Abert into the wall. That is the Marine Corps chances going up in flames right now. Yellow flag is out. That is not what we wanted to see right there. We're going to get a replay of that for everybody. Charles Abert in the background. Ooh, he's going straight to the pits. I think his car engine died on impact. Yeah, it probably did. Let's go on the instant replay. Charles Abert right behind Skylar Daly. You see Calvert and Zachariah getting real close. Zachariah slams the wall, which then brings in Charles Abert, slams the car right dead center into the engine, and that engine is expired. David Calvert, he's able to get away, but he's going to use his fast repair. A car that has been in the top 10 all race is going to be in the back of the field. Looking at it from Calvert's point of perspective, side by side.
It looks like he just sent it in the corner a little too hard.
Yeah, sent it too hard.
Got real tight on the exit and got to push Zach up into the wall, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah, Calvert just trying to find a way to get up to the front and really put the pressure on into the top 5. I don't dislike that move. I would have done the same thing. You got to try something with these laps winding down. Dylan Simmons, he's still in the lead. Jake, you're 5 to go. You've had 2 cycles of yellow flags. Do you come down and get your tires now, or do you stay out?
Absolutely not. You're in that top 5, top 10, you're staying out. But if, back half outside of that, I would take tires. I would gamble, take tires, see where things lead. 5 laps to go. You know, you other guys got, 8, 9 hard laps on their tires. It might be a
Yeah.
good gamble.
Yeah, I think Jake Bustos, he might be one that would gamble if somebody goes. It doesn't. Zachariah Long, he has damage. So he's definitely going to go to pit road. Matt Bove, he does the dummy. Nobody else really follows him. So nobody's really going to go down pit road. Zachariah Long with that damage from that caution with David Calvert in the background right there. They're going to use their fast repairs. You see Charles Aber right there in the background. His engine was killed on that front end impact on the inner wall. So his race might be done. We'll see if he tries to get back on the track. We hope he does. But Dylan Simmons, as one Coast Guard car goes down in the pits to repair, the other Coast Guard car, who's been a force up front, battling with Patrick Drabick, he has complete control. It's not going to be green-white checker here, folks. Actually, it might be a natural green-white checker, but it won't be one of our 2 green-white checkers. So we'll see if another caution comes out. But all Dylan Simmons wants to be able to do is keep Patrick Drabick behind and close out this Warrior Series with a W.
Absolutely. And, if I'm Patrick, I'm thinking about a points game. If I can't get ahead of him in the first, 2 laps or the first 3 corners of this, I'm just going to ride behind him and try to gain as many points as I can for my team.
That's not Patrick. I know Patrick doesn't. Yeah, he probably is thinking about that with Skyler, and Skyler's probably telling him go for glory at this point, man. We're at Indianapolis. We're at the home of Go Locker Racing. He was just here this past weekend representing Go Locker Racing, and he had an awesome time. I'm sure in the virtual world, he would love to get that 07 Navy car up to the front and with the win to cap off this inaugural summer series for the Warrior Series.
Absolutely. I mean, he definitely would. But like I said, man, I mean, if in the back of my mind, would I love to win? Absolutely. But when it comes to a team points like this, team game, I am focused solely on that points battle. So if I can't get ahead of Dylan Simmons, I'm just going to ride and gain as many points as I possibly can, especially with Skylar Daly running in 8th, Matt running in 9th. It's a great points night for the Navy. I'm not trying to jeopardize that by wrecking, getting into the back of the field, and jeopardizing that.
Well, that's why, Jake, you are a good teammate to anybody who's on your team. You always play the team game. Dylan Simmons decides to take the high side for the restart. Seems to be working out for him, so he's going to have complete control as we go 4 to go at the line. My thing is, we need to start looking out for Jake Ham. He made a very aggressive move on that restart on Jake Bustos on the outside and was able to take that P3 position. I haven't really seen Jake go that aggressive all race. Seems like he knows that we're winding down with the final laps. He's going all out. Would he be a driver that kind of be a thorn in the side for either Dylan Simmons or Patrick Drabick? We'll wait and see.
He absolutely is going to be a thorn on the side. I mean, I've raced with Jake Ham for a very, very long time. And when it gets to the end of these races, he is going for gold, and that is all that matters. And he is going to be aggressive. He's going to throw it in there, and he's going to try to gain that position by any means that he can.
Yeah, a lot of people love drivers like that, throwing it all on the line at the end. This is what the sport is all about. Drivers going to the last gasp. Some people like the Patrick Drabick method. Be methodical, be strategic in your moves. And some people like to be like Dylan Simmons, just dominate all race, be in clean air, and not have a worry in the world. You just have to make sure you have a good launch off the restart, and the world is yours after that. We're going to be 4 to go, Jake. I think this is going to be a great restart to see who possibly may win. We might not get another caution in the back of the field. My eyes are on Lanky. He's up to 15th after starting in 21st on that last restart. The pace car goes down into the pit lane. We're heading into the extreme scoring restart zone. It's Dylan Simmons with control of the field, and the green flag is out with 4 to go here at Indianapolis. Great restart by Dylan Simmons and Jake Bustos. Patrick Drabick down to P3. It's going to be a battle for P1 right now. Jake Bustos and Dylan Simmons really going at it right now.
And Patrick squeezes himself down into the inside to keep that 3rd spot.
Yeah, 2x2 in the background, but single file through the top 10. Jake Bustos and Dylan Simmons able to start to pull away. Patrick Drabick now getting a toe off Jake Bustos. It's Coast Guard, Army, and Navy for the top 3 right now. Patrick Drabick took a look on the inside, but he wasn't able to get anything done. Thaddeus Friel. Where did Thaddeus come from? He's into the top 4. Like I said, he's been one of... Oh, we got a caution in the background. Oh, no, Alex Smith and Dakota Cole getting caught up right there. Oh, man, we got to take a replay of that. Wow, we were a lot of action right there. We're falling into a green-white checker now, but let's take a replay. Like I said, they were 2x2 in the back through the backstretch. See what happens right here. Alan Smith running that low line. Dakota Cole puts his car. Ooh.
Hey, just tried to split it. Dakota Cole tried to split it 3 wide in an awkward position. And Allen probably thought he was going to go up the track a little, but he realized he wasn't going to be there and just kind of clipped them.
Well, Dakota Cole, you are now on the list. I'll say that. So, Dakota Cole, I would make sure that you send a nice telegram to Alan Smith and make sure that you know he didn't need to do what you did. But I think these drivers do. I don't know about Dakota Cole. I know Alan Smith definitely does have his fast repair. He's able to continue on. So we'll see if he's able to get this car back repaired. Cole machine not looking great so far. Trying to get his positions back right there. And you know, Jake, I said, well, I think your prediction is starting to come true. Jacob Linke, he's up to P13 now. So the guy who he started in P21 on our caution with about 10-ish to go. Yeah, about 10 to go. And he's up 8 positions with those fresh tires. And all this cautions are doing is helping him just gain more positions on that. We'll see if there's anybody on pit road. Looks like there won't be, except for any cars involved in that accident. So Jacob Linke close to that top 10. We'll see if your prediction comes true. Dylan Simmons, I think he's going to start on the inside. This time he'll have Jake Bustos on his outside. And Patrick Drabick will start behind on the inside as well. This is going to be an interesting green-white checkered here.
It absolutely will. Patrick's going to be hungry now, especially with a green-white checker coming. So he's going to be hungry. But like I said, in my mind, I'm just thinking of points. I'm just trying to get ahead, try to ride out the green-white tracker, try to gain as many points as I can for the team, and hope for the best.
Yeah, it really is going to come down to that. Dylan Simmons has been superior on his launches. They are on older tires, so tire spin could be a factor now. Everybody except David Calvert and Jacob Linke pitted on lap 23. So we are about 18 laps on these tires. So tire wear is definitely a factor. And so tire spin may be a thing on these restarts. We will see. But I mean, man, we're 3 laps to go on our first green-white checkered of the night. If this is your first time seeing a NASCAR race or seeing a race here at Go Locker, it's pretty simple how a green-white checkered works. We have 1 lap that's green, 1 lap that's white, and then once the white flag is out, it's anybody's game. The checker flag will come out. No yellow flags to stop the race, and it's anybody to the line for the race win. It's pretty simple as that. But to be even more important, this is the last 3 laps of our Warrior Series for the summer, Jake. Just talk us through what has been probably a great summer series to be part of.
Well, Sam, I'm telling you, I just can't be more ecstatic about the camaraderie. The guys you don't normally are in chat with. They're in chat with. They're helping each other out, trying to get each other to be better drivers. Coaching them and trying to get faster lap times. Make that long run happen. So that's been my biggest takeaway of this Warrior Series. I can see it in guys like Jacob Linke. I can definitely see it in Thaddeus Friel. Even Charles Abert. coming around, in this next gen car, making laps, being in that top 10, being in that top 5, it's wild to see the improvements that have happened with guys who are normally at the back, but are starting to make their way towards the front of the field and being more competitive and being more, happy about their finishing positions. So it's been great to see that.
Yeah, definitely. I fully agree with you. I've been trying to give Thaddeus his credit all race, but every time I start talking about Thaddeus, a caution or something happens. So before we get the green, I will give Thaddeus his props. Thaddeus has made huge bounds of improvement in his racecraft. Watched him in an ARCA race in another league, and he just dominated those drivers there. So whatever he's learning is really getting applied now. So, big kudos to Thaddeus. Keep doing whatever he's doing. However he's learning, he's growing into a great race driver now. But we're heading into turn 4 here at Indianapolis. It's going to be 3 laps to go. Dylan Simmons elects to start on the inside, and I'm pretty sure that is going to help Patrick Drabick maybe get ahead of Jake Bustos in P2. This is what champions are being made of. No more strategy, no more saving your equipment. Just 3 laps to leave it all into the extreme scoring restart zone. And we are off with a great restart by Dylan Simmons. Great restart by Patrick Drabick. Dylan Simmons immediately blocking the high side, which allows Patrick Drabick clean air into turn 1. They're side by side. Jake Bustos tries to block off Jake Ham. Jake Ham loose on exit. Thaddeus Field now on the inside. What a move by Thaddeus right there.
Yeah, and they're going door to door. They're dooring each other going down the backstretch there.
Caution in the background. Oh no, the caution in the background. Andrew Carnes again involved in a wreck. Not what he wants to happen. What a scene right there. We're going to take an instant replay, see what happened. Andrew Carnes on the outside, and it looks like David Calvert going 3 wide and washing up high. And
yeah, that arrow
did
just
he get
gets
loose?
Andy. Yeah, that arrow just got Andy loose.
Interesting. I've never seen the car get that loose off exit. Wow, that blimp view really shows it. The car just snapped loose in the rear, and there's, especially with these cars, there's nothing you can do to save it. Alan Smith getting caught up after just repairing his car with his accident with Dakota Cole. Not that much damage to his front end, but again, involved in an accident he doesn't want to be in. I think the biggest loser right now out of this was Patrick Drabick. He had a great launch. He had Dylan Simmons in his sights. Tires were just getting warmed up, so there was an opportunity to make a move. And now he's probably going to start on the outside for this last green-white checkered attempt.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be starting on that outside. He's got to be on his toes to get a good start if he wants to win this.
Yeah, if he wants to win this, but like you said, this is a team game. This is a points game. Skylar Daly is now in 8th, so the points haul for this Navy team is pretty tremendous if they were to finish like this. Now, we are on older tires. Once again, just to remind everybody, wheel spin can be a thing for these drivers on restarts. Dylan Simmons has been pretty flawless. I think that's Charles Abert now going to get his lucky dog for his lap back. I mean, Dylan Simmons almost getting in contact with Charles Abert right there. That would not have been a pretty sight to see, but we will get with 2 laps to go until green. Well, let's re-rack this field once again. Jacob Lanke not really able to make any moves. He's still in P13 with those fresher tires. Christopher Heiner is now in the top 10 once again. Matt Bove. Haven't really spoken about Matt Bove a lot this race. I know we've seen him a couple times. He had been lingering around in the top 15, top 20. He's now up to 10th. So great job by Matt Bove right there to get into the top 10. Really awesome to see the progress he's made over this season. Looking at the rest of it, Kevin Price, he's up 6 positions sitting in P17. Great to see him doing that. David Calvert, after his accident, he's been able to walk his way back up into P16. So not a bad effort. Conrad Whedon, another car that we saw get into a wreck earlier in this race, he's up to P12, up 9 positions from his original starting spot. So good moves on him. Thaddeus Friel, one of our biggest movers this race, he's up 8 positions. So we will see what happens. We're going to be 1 to go here, Jake. I mean, this is it. If another caution were to come out, that would be the race. All right. We will see what we will be getting into for this final part of our Goat Locker Warrior series. Patrick Drabick, he lost the lead after a pit mishap. It would be a hard way to lose this race if that's the only thing stopping him from a win today after a great pole position. We will see what will happen on this restart. Dylan Simmons, he's been flawless. Those 2 drivers have been our only leaders, except for Darren Price, all race. Dylan Simmons trying to get a win for the Coast Guard. He's been a real rock for them on this back end of the season. Walking into the backstretch right here. 2x2. Crowd on its feet, ready for a great finale to this season.
It's been one hell of a season. One hell of a show that these drivers and Warriors have put on. Can't wait to see how it ends.
Me neither, Jake. I think this has been a great series, great idea by you and the team here at Goat Locker to highlight our veterans, our first responders, and our active duty, and give them a space to run and be in a team with their fellow comrades in arms. It's gonna be one more time for all these drivers for the summer series here in the Warrior Series. It's overtime in Indianapolis. It's our last green-white checkered attempt. I know Dylan Simmons, he doesn't want it to end on a yellow flag, but if he sees it, he'll be a happy man. The pressure has never been higher. The margins have never been smaller. 2 laps to decide this race and the Warrior Series championship. Buckle up. Here we go. Dylan Simmons, it's all on you to lead this field. A green flag for the final time. Great jump by Bustos and Simmons. Side by side for P2 between Patrick Drabick, Jake Ham trying to run a little bit higher. They're side by side. That's what Dylan Simmons wants to see. Jake Bustos trying to keep that low line. Looks like Patrick Drabick will take P2. We're going side by side in the background, but the top 8 have now singled out James Compton and Timothy Williams. Now, Timothy Williams gets in line. Dylan Simmons hits all on him. It's going to be 5 more corners for him through this track.
Patrick sent it into that corner too. He's gaining a little bit of time, but losing it on exit. And we'll see what's going to happen here. Jake Ham's leaning on that door of Jake Bustos.
Yeah, no love lost. The white flag is out, so if the caution were to come out, it doesn't end the race. Jake Bustos and Jake Ham, no love lost between these drivers after their fierce battle all race. Patrick Drabick really throwing it in there. Did he save some tire for this end of this race? Jake Ham loose on exit. Jake Bustos now securing that P3 position. Thaddeus Friel in P4. Down the backstretch one final time. Dylan Simmons trying to break the toe. He's doing what he needs to do. Let's see if Patrick Drabick has anything left in the tank in these tires. Gonna be close. Oh my God, Jake, we might have a show to the line.
Hey, he's sending it in that corner. He's gonna try to make it work, and he's not gonna have enough coming on exit out of the front stretch here.
No, he won't. Dylan Simmons has been flawless all race. A pit mishap gives him the lead, and it gives him the final win for our Warrior Series here at Go Locker Racing. Dylan Simmons for Coast Guard. What a wonderful show by him. Tip of the hat to you, sir. You did well. Patrick Drabick didn't have enough to reclaim the lead, but he secures a P2. Looks like we have an Army car who killed their engine before the end, and an Army teammate of Jake Bustos will be able to take P3 after that battle with J-Cam. I got to catch my breath. We will be back after this break with our final results, with our top 3, I believe, and we will have a championship declaration.
Superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
See the Coast Guard cars burning it down to celebrate their team win with Dylan Simmons. Let's take a look at our race results. Dylan Simmons, like I said, was flawless all race, started third and able to secure the win tonight. Patrick Drabick, after a great pole position, takes away P2. Jake Bustos had that battle with J-Cam at the end and is able to secure the last podium position. Thaddeus Friel, 9 positions up from where he's starting P4. Great job by him. J-Cam rounds out in the top 5. Timothy Williams in P6. James Kaufman with a great P7. Skylar Daly for Navy up to 8th. Jacob Linke in P9. Jake, you made a correct prediction. And Darren Price. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Into the top 20, Mike Browning in 11th. Christopher Heiner in 12th. Conrad Whedon in 13th. David Calbert in 14th. Josh Unger with a great top 15. Kevin Price in 16th. DJ Patterson in 17th. Andrew Carnes 18th. Alan Smith in 19th. And Darren Price in 20th. And rounding out our back half of the field, it's going to be Hayden Muir in 21st. Zachariah Logan in 22nd. Charles Aber able to finish in 23rd. Matt Weavers finishes in 24th. And our final car of the night will be Dakota Cole in P25. Well, we will see what we have. Let's bring in our winner for tonight. Dylan Simmons, you got a copy?
I got you.
Dylan, I mean, dude, you blew the lights out here. You ran a flawless race. We saw Patrick Drabick mess up on pit road, which was able to get you out on front. Talk us about how crucial that clean air was for you.
Yeah, this one's really special because it's Indianapolis of all the tracks. It's the one that everybody wants to win at here. Um, I just want to start off giving props to the rest of the Coast Guard team. We had Conrad and Zach both in tonight, and it was fantastic. Obviously, everybody in the race brought their best tonight, and the strategy that we used for the pits was just executed about as perfectly as it could have gone. Um, we led a good chunk of the race. I don't know if we had most laps led, but I know we had a good bit there. The caution that came out, I think it was like lap 22. I told all three of us to just pit and we'll ride it out the rest of the race. Drebeck overshot the box, I think,
Yep.
which is unfortunate. He kept pressure on me all night, and every time I'd start to settle in, he'd start closing in and remind me that can't afford to let up a little bit, can't make a mistake. He made me drive the race as perfectly as possible and boost us as well. He was an outstanding push on the restarts and really helped us maintain the lead, especially keeping Patrick back as much as we could.
Yeah, those restarts were a killer. We saw you go from inside and outside lane to restart, really hampering anybody to get in front of you. But you did what you needed to do. Great win. Great way to end the season and roll into the fall season. Who do you have to thank for this first place tonight?
I'm sorry, I have everybody going crazy on the Navy side for the news that they just got. Um, yeah, tonight was just amazing overall.
That's definitely it. Well, Dylan Simmons, we appreciate your time. And we'll see you. We'll see you in the fall series for the Warrior series.
Absolutely.
All right, Dylan Simmons out there. I think Patrick Drabick will be in here shortly. The Navy team is declared champions of the Warrior Series, so I'm sure they're popping their virtual balls right now. Uh, Jake Bustos, you got a copy in the booth.
I sure do, brother. How you doing?
Hey, Jake, it's good to hear from you, man. Yeah, talk us through that battle with Jake Cam at the end. You guys were trading blows. Great clean battle between you guys, but really came down to the wire at the end. Just walk us through what was going through your mind for those final laps.
The biggest thing, I just needed to get a good restart behind Dylan and go from there. I did get a good restart with him, which was great, and me and Pat ran side by side, but he just had a really good drive off of two, and I'm not gonna run him like that. Him and Dylan were the two fastest of the day. Like they needed to go up there and battle it out, and then yeah, Ham got on the outside of me in three, which surprised me. I wasn't expecting it to kind of stick, and then I mean just came off of four, and I was tracked out and he was side with me and we were just kind of going and then I don't know if netcode grabbed us at first or if we connected, but I took a little offense to that, so I gave him another little shot going down the straightaway and then going into one, I took it in as deep as I could and he took it in way deeper than me and I just at that point I knew it wasn't going to stick, so I was just hoping Thaddeus couldn't get to the inside of me so I could at least come talk to you guys.
Well, whatever you did definitely paid off. You were able to get clear into the backstretch and hold on to that P3 position. Great race by you. You were a top five driver all night. But with your third place, who do you have to thank? Who do you have to shout out?
Really got to thank the Goat Locker Racing team. Again, this is just a great league, great organization to be a part of. They do so much for the veterans and first responders. I'm very honored to be here and run in the Warrior Series. You guys in the booth again. I can't wait to go back and watch this. I got to thank iRacing, MK Fire Design, Sim Motion, Harpoon Design, Zach Graphics. Just for coming on board and helping support the series. I gotta shout out my mom. She's watching. Hey, mom. Glad I made you proud. Hopefully. Um, and then my teammates over there in Army. Jacob had a great run. Coffin had a great run. Just really fun to be with them all season, and can't wait to do it again here in the summer.
Well, shout out to mom. Hope she was watching. Hope she was happy to see you on cam. Jake Bustos in third place. We appreciate you, brother. We'll see you in the fall series.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Well, Jake, I think you were doing some clerical work. We were told that Navy has won the championship. Think we're gonna bring up the Navy team into the booth. Patrick, Sky, and Matt. You got Jake and myself. You got a copy.
Yes,
Gotcha.
sir.
Hey,
Well,
Bad Pat. How's it? First, let's start off with you with a great finish. You were on the pole. Walk us through that race a little bit.
Yeah, that was a really fun race. A lot of fun racing out there. Unfortunately, another mistake on my end just kind of put me behind the eight ball there and blew through my pit stall that very first pit stop, lost 4 positions. And at that point, I mean, Dylan Simmons was really, really fast, and I knew it was going to take something extraordinary to get back around him again. So, but a lot of fun racing out here tonight. Wish it wasn't so caution filled at the end, but it made for some fun battles.
And going back on the Warriors series over the season, well, what has this meant, and what does the championship mean to you and the Navy team here?
It's been awesome. I mean, I never get a chance to race with some of these guys, and racing with Sky and Matt, all season long was so much fun. Especially these last few races. We're talking a little bit of strategy and how to maintain this points lead and all that. But to win the very first ever Warrior Series is awesome. So go Navy.
And then rounding that out, who do you got to thank, Pat?
Me and my incredible talent each and every week. Putting this team on my back and carrying them. So I want to thank me. My right foot that was on the gas pedal. My steering arms and all that stuff. But no, um, man, it was just so much fun. You guys do an amazing job up in the booth, which it's so cool to watch these and see what you do with them and the interviews and the pre-race stuff that you do, Jake, is just incredible. To every driver that raced over the summer, thank you. And we've got a ton of incredible partners. You can check them out on, our social media, our website, and things like that, like Lincoln Tech and Save 22 and the Fraternal Order of Eagles and Jam Printing and Promotions, and Alexander PCs and, GTR simulators and MK Fire Design. And, we have a tremendous amount and everybody that's a part of the pit crew that helps support what we do. It's been amazing. But man, so much fun. And so incredibly proud to bring home the trophy for Navy.
That's awesome, Pat. We're happy to bring this trophy to the Navy, and see if you can keep that momentum going into the fall.
Sure. Yeah. Kick ass. Woo!
all
Filling
right.
dead air right now. What's up?
All right.
And I think
Well,
Sam has Sky, end up with him. So
Yeah.
Sky, you got a copy of with Sam and I in the booth.
I
Yeah, I got a
do.
copy.
oh, well, kind of awkward because I talk to Skylar every day. So,
Well, you're kind of
hey.
awkward, so
But let's I mean, Sky, just one thing, with the Navy being active duty and whatnot, what does it mean for you to be running with guys that are, like your chief, and I think Pat was a chief as well, or senior chief actually. I'm sorry, I know there's a little difference between it, but just talk us through that, buddy.
No, it's awesome because everybody gets together. We just talk smack the entire race, and that's what me, Pat, and Matt have been doing in our personal little chat there in the Navy chat, just having a good time, having a blast. We're actually enjoying the racing. It's not super serious, although we were getting there. We're doing some strategy talks towards the end, but it's just awesome getting everybody together and just having fun.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Matt Bove, you did great today as well, man. I know nobody, if you haven't heard it, I said that you had a great race. So congratulations to you as well, helping your team out. Congratulations to all the Navy guys, Pat, Sky, Matt, and whoever else was on your team. I think Jamie Barkis as well was on the team. So I'm sure he'll be happy to hear that the team won the championship. But great to hear from you guys, and we'll see you all in the fall.
I just got one question for Matt. That's not a guy we talk to too often. But what has this Warrior series meant to you over the season?
I like the competition, so I think it's really, and I'm fairly new here, so I think it's really gotten me to meet some of the guys, a lot better.
And that's awesome. Glad to hear from you, and hopefully in the fall season in the Warriors series, you'll be in the top threes, and we'll be hearing from you some more.
Yeah, definitely learning a lot from these guys. So, uh, yeah, hopefully we could build something.
All right, Navy team with the championship. Congratulations to you guys, and we will see you all in the fall.
Thank
All
you.
right. Well, Jake, it has been a great season with you in the booth. Just your final thoughts as we see Barney throw the flag out there.
Man, I'm telling you, what a great season it's been. It's been an honor to call, some of these races with you. Some of them I missed, but it's been a blast every time I've been up here. Been learning a lot, from the announcer standpoint. I've always been a driver, never been, in the booth, that often. So it's been a lot of learning for me up here, calling these races with you, and can't wait to do it again in the fall.
Yeah, I can't wait to do it again in the fall. We'll see how it is. What a way to close out the Warriors season. 8 races, countless battles, and it all came down to an overtime finish here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Congrats to Dylan Simmons for the win, and congrats to the Navy team for an incredible campaign from start to finish to close out the championship. To every driver and every team out there, it's been great, and you guys made the season possible. We hope that all of you guys come back for the fall season to make it even stronger for everybody else. But until then, from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, my name is Sam Yosef. I had Jake Ellingson in the booth helping me out all season, so thank you to him. Eddie Smith as well. He was helping out in the booth and commentating the season. So thank you to Eddie for all it is. So long, and congratulations to our championship and our champions. And thank you for joining us for this season. Good night.